You might have heard that Gotham Chess has that one feeling, that whenever he's playing a really strong grandmaster, he's feeling super anxious and he's extra scared to play the game. Well, I have faced a very strong master myself, an international master, and that was in a Blitz game in the Bundesliga. So the Bundesliga on Leeches is basically a bi-weekly tournament, I mean twice a week a tournament, and in that tournament specifically, you are going to face off against strong players if you are good enough to win some games and then be on the same rank as them. And then you're going to be paired up against someone of your strength. And yeah, it's sort of like an arena on chess.com if you don't know how what an arena works like. On Lichess, it's sort of the same. Okay, so I'm facing off an Argentinian IM. You're going to see his picture on the screen. And I played the move e4. We started the Sicilian, and then we developed the knights, traded in the center, and it went into the Kalashnikov. Okay, so I decided to play this knight to b5. This is a pretty, actually, the main line, or at least a very common line. People do like to go here or here as well, but it doesn't make that much of a difference. So here I developed my other knight. He pushed and took control of the center over here. As you can see, the reason people do play this move b5, some don't, is that they take space away from the knight. Some people just like to develop this knight to prevent this knight from jumping in here. But that happened, I jumped in my knight, and here he was supposed to develop the knight, but he played an interesting gambit. It's important to note that my opponent berserked and that he has half the time, so instead of having 3 minutes, he had 1.5 minutes, like 1 minute and 30 seconds. So I took, this was not the correct way to play, but I was not prepared against this. So apparently I was supposed to go here, and if he pushes, I just drop back, and something like push again is just complete bollocks. Okay. So, takes. I was supposed to develop the bishop here, but I played here, and now I decided to pin him. Now I castled after we traded, and then here there was a sweet little tactic that my opponent missed because he was playing extra fast. So it was takes, and then I was supposed to give a check. This is a very simple tactic. But you know, I just talked to you about Gotham chess. Well, you know, I couldn't really say I was feeling anxious, but I was giving this guy respect, you know? And I thought, okay, castling a normal move, and I didn't spot the tactic on point. I did see it later, but it didn't help me anymore. So I decided to trade the bishop, and then after he moved over here, I just decided to bring the rook. So he goes there, and activates the rook too, and I activate my second rook. He brings back the knight, I take the bishop, and here, another tactic. Boom, he can't take, and actually this should be completely winning. But what I saw is that he can push here, and then my knight would be in an awkward position, and then he can take, and it could be a bit annoying, so I just decided to push. Okay, and here, obviously the attack, I just lifted my rook. He put his knight over here. There was a better place to put the knight, but in a blitz game, it's kind of hard to notice. I brought my knight back over here, and as you can see, he attacked me. I put my queen in the center, controlling a few squares over here, as you can see. And the other idea was that I can just trade over here. He did not trade, but just brought the knight back. And here I doubled on this pawn and decided to sort of start the counterplay. This was a very important aspect because if I don't start the counterplay, the attack is simply going to happen at some point. So he brought his other rook protecting everything, and I decided to push. I mean, this is not the sweetest spot, but at least it's protected by the knight. And also, as you can see, this was sort of getting annoying even though it was not under direct attack. So after something like this, you see Stockfish is mind blowing what Stockfish is saying here. Just going here, no one is playing that in a blitz game. I'm sorry, if you think that Magnus Carlsen is playing that, I don't think he is. Okay, I decided to bring the knight back. This was an inaccuracy, but let's see what other line Stockfish referred to. So, okay, here, this was the main move. Okay, sort of a waiting move, maybe supposed to go here as well. That is the idea. And yeah, but I'm not sure that anyone would play this in a blitz game. If you see that this is actually a pretty interesting idea, but apparently you don't even go here after you make that move. You just go here and then, yeah, it's a very important aspect. I just decided to place my knight back and here have a pretty comfortable square. This was now protected by the queen, so it was not under immediate threat. He went back, and now obviously the idea is to go here and to go here. And h4 would have stopped both of those ideas, but I thought, okay, I'm just going to start the counterplay over here. If he moves the knight back, I'm just going to take over here, and I'm going to have a comfortable position. But no, I actually missed that he can go here. And now I'm in a troublesome position. I was thinking about going here, but I decided not to. I just went in here, and after he checked, I decided to go up. He can take. I mean, take is a complete blunder because after I take over here, there's absolutely nothing for him. So he had to take with the knight, and I pinned him. He went back, and it wasn't really a pin. Just placing my rook over there that I can trade a piece off. And now I decided to place my queen over here, defending this check and defending and bringing the queen a little closer, defending more squares and near the king. Okay, so obviously this check was somewhat obvious. You might look at this and say, okay, well, this is actually very obvious. This doesn't work though, and you have to be a little careful. You have to anchor the knight first, and you're kind of in trouble if you are white. Yeah, but as I said, my opponent berserked, and here he only had about 30 seconds on the clock. He lashed this out, and I mean, I am kind of mind blown here too, but you can find this game on Leeches if you want to. It's my game against I am the international master Globito, and I'm mind blown that he played this, and I guess it had the same idea overall because it was the other combination too that had the move h5. Because he took a 7-second thought here. So 7 seconds when you have 27 seconds is a lot. And yeah, I decided to jump in the knight after he blundered a complete fork. And so he had to sacrifice, and I took. Here I have to be careful. He's infiltrating, and I'm kind of in danger if you ask me. But again, he gives the wrong check after 2 seconds, and I just will go up. I get another check, and I have no other option. Like, I cannot go back into a discovered attack, and I might as well collect a pawn while there are actually no checks. So he goes here. Apparently queen trade was the correct option, or at least blocking this off to then queen trade and to have very few checks. You can just run back over here. But I instantly lashed this out with 1 second, and after he took advantage of the fact that I blundered and my queen isn't actually protecting the king anymore, he gave a check over here. I went to the side, and this was actually a complete checkmate. My opponent missed a mate in two and played this. Wow, what a move. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, I wouldn't play this ever if I was black. With 10 seconds on the clock against 15 seconds on the clock on white side. I'm white. So I have a 5-second advantage, but it's really meaningless when it's that less. So yeah, I wouldn't play that ever. I was surprised that he did, but I found the correct move and the correct defense. No checks, as you can see, and now I'm knocking on the door and threatening. And he goes here. Like, the only defense to hold a bit longer, even though I'm winning, was to go over there. And after he goes over here, I can give a check, but it's not really that strong. And you have to consolidate while being material up. But yeah, you actually have a pretty fine position if you are white over here. You have to be careful not to get mated again, because if I do a random move here, you're kind of in trouble. Even though this is somewhat surviving as well. So let's see. That didn't happen, by the way. Okay, so here. He went here, and now I have a mate in 4 combination. I'm completely winning. Listen, I'm not even titled, but I haven't gone to any tournaments yet, so hopefully in the future I can get to a few tournaments, even though I'm far away from them. That's why I've avoided them, and I thought of being more of a hobby player, but now I'm taking chess more seriously, as you can see, and I'm creating educational content for you. So yeah, there is a mate in 4 combination. It's check. Obviously he has to block with the knight, and then you give another check. Well, the knight can't really go back. If you watch the footage, I was actually hovering queen here because I thought that he could go here with while having 10 seconds on the clock. I was hovering and then I realized, wait, I just gave a check. He cannot do that. So I took. He goes here, and there is a mate in one. Very straightforward. And yeah, my reaction was like, oh my god, I defeated an IM. But yeah, I was very happy, of course. I was very happy with the result. But it has worn off ever since. I am striving to defeat GMs in the future and to defeat super GMs in the future and hopefully become world chess champion. I mean, that's a bit of a stretch, but who knows? Maybe you become the world chess champion after seeing this. So yeah, what should you learn? Well, this is important theory, Kalashnikov, very, very interesting Sicilian. I like to play it myself, and I know the lines for white, that's what I knew to go here, but I personally never have heard of this variation, and in the Leeches database, it doesn't really have a name. So after this, I decided to develop the bishop. Okay, you go here. Actually, a bit more obvious, but maybe in a classical game or in a rapid game, I would have played it because the pawn is really weakened after that, and you can still go there after he pins the knight. So you haven't really changed anything, and it's a smart move to make overall. If he trades, it's pretty bad for you. For him, he has an active queen. You have an active queen, and he can't really remove the queen, and you should be fine. But this happened, and yeah, trade was completely bad. Don't ever do this. I decided to pin him. As you can see, he can't take because this. And yeah, learn your tactics, do your puzzle rush as well, because I was supposed to see that. And yeah, this was, I guess, me just respecting him. I didn't look at the position because I saw when he made this move, I saw the fact that he might be able to push here in the future. Let me make a random move. He pushes, I go away, and then he takes, and then he completely infiltrates with the rook. And I'm lucky that I have this move, but I'm still down a pawn, and that's why I didn't take over there. But actually, yeah, that other move was completely superior because first of all, you're attacking the knight. So he either has to defend the knight or move the queen, and after that, you are setting a lot of pressure. You can even sacrifice. So that's the idea. I mean, okay, the correct move was to take and take and take and then play from here on. But yeah, it's a game. Obviously, it's still a game. Do your tactics, learn your puzzles. Don't be afraid. I certainly wasn't afraid. I was respecting the guy. But I have played against grandmasters before. I've lost. I was actually thinking, okay, maybe I'll lose, but I'll give my best. And my mindset, in your mindset, you have to be completely neutral. I was completely careless, and maybe that's just me that can do that. I don't know. Maybe it's a superpower. Because I've heard so many people saying that it's actually so hard to keep calm after having such a game. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit more competitive uh, when it comes to the fact that whoa, I want to win this, and I have to lock in now. But yeah, you have to keep calm. You don't really you sometimes overestimate these people, and obviously I don't think the Grandmaster had his best game in the world, and the international master. I'm sorry, he didn't have the best game in the world, and I certainly didn't have the best game. As you can see, I've done a ton of mistakes, and there came a lot of mistakes from him too. But yeah, we all learn from our mistakes, and at least I'm happy I won, by the way. Like, I'm actually very happy with myself and my performance. And I did go on to take a short break from the Bundesliga, like 20 minutes, go eat something. And then I came back and actually lost many games in a row. So I didn't have a great tournament after defeating an IM, but at least I defeated the IM, right? That's the most important part. Okay, so enough yapping for today. I hope you loved this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and take a look at the other videos, and see you next time.